Today I'm interviewing rugby player and coach Ryan Strudwick. Ryan has had a successful playing career and has a wealth of rugby experience. He's played for the Sharks, London Harlequins, Connacht and the Barbarians. He is the captain for London Irish team and was the player of the season for 1999. 2008, Ryan began his coaching career and has coached the Sharks, College Rovers and is now the director of rugby at Maritzburg College. Hello Ryan, how would you describe your childhood and school days?
Hi Nathan, thanks for having me here. My childhood was very relaxed. I grew up on a farm and I was at a small school, so it was pretty relaxing and really enjoyable actually.
When did you discover your passion for rugby?
Rugby was never a passion of mine, to be honest. I just played all the sports, and when you're at a small school you have to play everything. So it sort of came across as a chance that I ended up being a professional rugby player.
In your 12 years of being a professional rugby player, what has been your most challenging time?
I think the last few years are the most challenging, when you know that you're coming to the end of your career and you know you're going to have to hang up the boots and retire. I think it's quite a sort of daunting task thinking what I'm going to do after rugby.
What was your training schedule like?
Sure, hectic. Probably pre-season is 3 sessions a day, 6 o'clock in the morning, then like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's quite tiring in the beginning, and then once the game starts it sort of eases off, and you'll probably have 1 or 2 rest days in the week, but other than that it's a full-time job.
What position did you play?
I was mainly a lock, but at school I played loose forward, mainly 8th man, and then as I got older they sort of moved me into the second line.
What made you decide to leave SA and play rugby overseas?
That was also a chance. I had a friend who was a coach overseas and he invited me across, and eventually I decided to go for a 2-year experience there, and I enjoyed it so much and I decided to stay, and I stayed there for 10 years.
Why did you come back to SA?
We were always going to come back. This is our home. We were always in England just for the experience of playing rugby, and it was just a matter of time, especially when we had children, we wanted to bring them up in South Africa.
You started coaching in 2008. What made you decide to start coaching at this point?
Coaching also came across as more of an opportunity. I was playing rugby at a club in Durban for College Rovers, and the one season they said they needed a coach and would I like to do it, so I started, and I haven't looked back since then.
Is there a specific age that professional rugby players retire, or is it different for each person?
It's different for each person. Overseas they used to sort of set your limit at 35 and you could actually take a pension when you're 35. But these days it's getting younger and younger because the guys are starting to play younger and younger. So as long as your body can hold out, you keep playing.
Do your two sons show any interest in rugby, and are you hoping that they'll follow you in your footsteps one day?
Well, no, they show plenty of interest. They want to play every day. But I'll give it's their choice. If they want to play professionally, then that's great. But we encourage them to play all sport at the moment.
How do you feel about young primary school children being pushed to achieve in sports, so most of their free time is taken up by extra training?
It is a problem, and it's becoming more of a problem because of all our sports turning professional and the opportunity to make money. So the parents are pushing it. I don't encourage it. I encourage the parents to make them play as many sports and different sports as they can.
Besides rugby, what are you passionate about?
Mainly sport, golf, cricket, tennis, fishing. I love my fishing, so I still play plenty sport.
How do you feel about coaching for the Sharks?
Sharks was great. It was a great experience. They helped me out a lot, and to be involved in a professional setup is wonderful.
Do you have a hero, something that you look up to?
Yeah, heroes are difficult, especially when you're a sportsman, but I always look at the top sportsmen, people who have achieved something. I don't have one particular guy, but I like to look at the guys at the top and like to figure out how they got there and the sacrifices they made to get there.
You are now the director of rugby at college. Is it different to coaching for the Sharks?
Yeah, schoolboy rugby is completely different to being in a professional setup. The most challenging thing from a school coach is that you coach an age group, so you only deal with the players for 1 year and then they move to the next age group. So you can never build a sort of long-term relationship with your team and work around, whereas if you're in a professional setup, say with the Sharks, you'll get guys in, and each year you'll keep coaching the same boys over and over, and they'll get better and better, and they'll learn the way you want them to play. Whereas a schoolboy, you have 1 year and then they're gone. So there's a challenge for any schoolboy or any age group coach is a challenge.
Do you have any regrets when it comes to your rugby career?
I think my biggest regret is maybe not playing more in South Africa. I think I left. I didn't leave in a hurry, but I left, and I always wanted to come back and play, but I never did.
What advice would you give to young boys who are passionate about rugby?
My biggest advice is never give up. I've stuck by that one throughout my career. If you really want something bad enough, you must just chase it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to tell us about yourself. I wish you all the best in your new venture at college. I'm sure that they know how lucky they are to have you.
Thanks, Nathan. Thanks for having me.